My podcast is on Spotify. It's called Dance Boss Lady. This is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be the second episode. Today I'm going to be talking about something that is very interesting. It's going to be about how to differentiate your dreams from the dreams others have for you, or the dreams that you think that others have for you. And thank you so much for being here. As I said before, this is your podcast, Dance Boss Lady. This is going to be the second episode that I do in English, and thank you so much for joining me. Without further ado, I'm going to start talking about how to differentiate your dreams from the dreams that others have for you. I think that, it might seem very intuitive or very simple or very clear that what I'm talking about is when your family or your friends express to you that they want you to do a certain thing. For instance, your mom would tell you, I want you to be a doctor, or your friends would be telling you, I want you to, I don't know, like party with us, or I want you to be, I don't know, whatever, right? But that's not actually what I'm talking about today. I'm going to be talking about that, yes, for sure, but mostly I'm going to be talking about how to get unconfused. Because what I think that happens to us a lot, especially right now in these times of social media, is I've been looking at this phenomenon that I feel like everyone is trying to do the same exact thing. And I believe that is because we believe that that's what we gotta do, because we believe that that's what people want from us. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to have you guys reflect on. When we have, for instance, I'm going to be just talking about salsa and bachata, the industry of salsa and bachata. If we have teachers, dancers, performers, producers, promoters, competitors, judges, and DJs, you may want to think about what is it that you want to do, and not just try to be everyone else, what everyone else is doing. Or you might want to think or rethink if being famous is actually what you're looking for. Or you may want to think or rethink if winning all the competitions is actually your ultimate goal, and why. So I'm going to go back and then tell you that the reason why I'm talking about this today is because last week I spoke about how to follow your dreams, or how I followed my dreams by ignoring all the messages that tell me that I cannot do something, right? Well, I've been ignoring all the messages that say that there's no chances for me to accomplish whatever I want to accomplish. So by ignoring those messages, I've been able to just try and just be able to do everything that I've always wanted to. And that's the reason. And the reason why I come here and I tell you this is because I want you to get this idea. I want you to get inspired and to understand and believe that you can definitely do anything that you want. It's crazy, you guys. It's really crazy. We can, like, seriously, if you choose to do what you want to do, it's insane the kind of stuff that you can come up with. It's insane the kind of stuff that can come out of your decision to just go for it. And then everything that happens after that, right? Of course. But last week when I was speaking about that, actually it was 2 weeks ago, I spoke about it in Spanish. And then a lot of people ask me, okay, I get it. If you have a dream, I get that you just gotta go for it, and not let anything stop you from achieving your dream, right? But what if you don't know what your dream is, right? And I was like, oh, that's true. So this is what this episode is going to be about: how to figure out what your real dream is, but also how to differentiate your dream from what you're doing. Because sometimes I feel like this is what happened to me a lot of the times. I felt that that I was like in a rat race. I felt like I was in this never ending treadmill where it was always like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but how come it doesn't feel good? And that's when you start like dissecting it, and then just going like, you know what? Maybe it's because my dream is not really that dream that people think that it should be my dream. Like, maybe I really don't want to be famous. Maybe I really don't want to be like dancing like at 4 a.m. with everyone. Maybe I don't want to be partying all the time. Maybe I don't want to be traveling so much. Maybe I don't want that. Even though it sounds crazy, because people would be, and I'm talking about me, right? People would be like, are you crazy? You're going to quit all this just because now you decided that in reality, what you like is to teach? Are you insane? And this came out of like a lot of hours of thinking and understanding that, like, if it doesn't feel 100% well, it's probably because that's not my real dream. Then a second point in this is, I understand that a lot of people never achieve. So as you're working and working and working and going towards a goal, and you never achieve it, then you're never gonna know if that was exactly your dream or not. For instance, like let me give you an example. I see all these people like putting together all these productions for videos, all these productions that are not really like, it shows to me that they're not really dancing, they're not really studying dance, they're just putting together productions, right? So that I get that the reason why is because they want to be famous, right? But imagine, or because they see other people that are very famous and they don't really study or they don't really dance, but they're famous because of something else, right? Because they have good productions or they're pretty or some whatever. And so they think that this is what they're gonna do, but they don't understand that this is like exhausting. Doing something that is that empty will make you exhausted in the long run, and also will make you poor. So like really, and I see that a lot of people are lost in that, and that's the reason why, like, I really want you to stop and think if what you are doing is exactly what you want. And I'm going to give you like this key. It's a key that I wish I could tell you that I invented it, but I did not. It was my mom who gave it to me a long time ago. When I was around, I think from 17 to 23, I did not have any girlfriends because girls just didn't like me. They just did not like me, or they just, even if they liked me, they didn't want to hang out with me because I was very different and I didn't behave the way I was supposed to behave as a girl. I was not raised to behave like in certain ways that the conservative Mexican middle high class behaves, or is expected to behave if you're a woman. I was not raised that way. And then I just couldn't do it. And every time that I tried, it would last only like 2 days. And on the third day, I'm already like going back to being myself, right? And in this case, I remember that there was a day where I spoke to my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm never gonna have friends. And then I said, you know what, Mom, buy me this. I remember it was a matter of like buying one type of car that I was supposed, like I wanted to drive a truck. I always wanted to drive a truck, but this was just a thing, right? But girls didn't drive trucks. And so then I asked my mom to buy me like a small car, a small pretty car, just because I was like, if I really get the car that I really want, people are not gonna like me. They're even gonna like me less than they do now. And now I'm not gonna have friends for real, right? And then my mom was like, okay, then yeah, sure, whatever, you know? But let me ask you something. Why do you want me to buy you this car that is not what you want? And I said, because if I have a small car, a cute car, then I'm gonna have girlfriends. They're gonna wanna be my friends, because me acting like a boy or acting this all like liberated and all like loud and just like obnoxious or like smart ass and whatever, and they just saying bad words and wearing whatever I wear, and then being open about my taste and, you know, like everything, and like then they don't like me. So then now, like, I'm gonna try to fit the mold so that I can have friends. And then my mom was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a sight of what these girls are gonna look like in 15 to 20 years. And that's the reason why they act this way. And the reason why they don't like you is because you don't act this way, because you're not going there, right? So she said, these girls are going to get married as soon as they finish college. And if they don't, they're gonna try to. And the next step is that they're gonna have kids. And the next step is that their husband is going to be really rich and is going to have a mistress. And they're going to know that he has a mistress. But they're all going to go to the country club. And they're going to pretend like they're like the perfect family, because this is what the perfect family is in this society. So that's the reason why they have to act this way, so that they can get that kind of husband, so that they can get into this kind of country club. And yeah, so this is the reason why they do this. So it's a sacrifice, but there's worth it, because in the end, this is what they want to be. And she said, now I'll ask you, is this what you want to be? Like, don't worry about what you need to do right now. Think about if you want to arrive where they want to arrive. And I said, what? And she said, think about 15 years. 15 years. If you're going to give up right now what you want so that people like you, you push this same activity for 15 years and you're going to arrive where they're going to arrive, because they like you so much that they're going to, you know, you're going to have to continue being in this same treadmill of like pleasing people, pleasing this society, right? But is this what you really like? Is this where you want to arrive? So then that opened my mind, and I was like, you know what? You are 100% true, right. I don't want to end up there, because even though it might be the dream of everyone, I know that it's not my dream. It's not at all. So then at that point, I was like, you know what? Thank you. Now I'm going to go buy the car that I want. And if they don't like me, it's fine, because I don't want them to like me anyway, you know, because it just gets you like this clarity. It gets you this clarity when you see yourself, when you push the same behavior that you're going and for the next 15 years. So in that, I would ask you if what you're doing regarding dancing is, if you push it for 15 years, is this what you're trying to get to, what you're doing right now in that treadmill that you're in, all this effort that you're putting in, all this sacrifice that you're putting in, that you're willing to do, where are you going to? And if you're going to something that if you push it 15 years from now, you see yourself doing that and that makes you happy, then definitely that is your dream. Definitely that's your dream. And that's the reason why you need to go for it. And you need to push it, and you need to go against anyone that tells you otherwise. But if that's not your dream, then you need to quit ASAP. And you need to start doing what your dream is, even if it's not sexy, okay? In my case, it's happened to me many times. For instance, when I quit engineering to become an artist, of course, people were going like, are you crazy? You're leaving this very high-end career at a very good school, and you're gonna have everything, your life is going to be set because you're going to be an engineer with like, you know, working in some lab for like building robots or something. And you're going to quit this to go for art, to become a singer? That's retarded. And I still did it, right? Because I figured that, yes, I could be an engineer for sure. And I love that. But then pushing 15 years, a decision of me not becoming an artist was something that I was not willing to go through, because you also have to push 15 years ahead. Like, what if right now I decide to quit my dream? What's going to happen in 15 years? How am I going to look? How am I going to feel? And then that gives you this perspective, and you're like, you know what? No, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep on my dream, right? It gives you this clarity. Then after that, I realized that even though like I was getting a lot of, you know, I was singing in this big arenas and this, I was singing in, you know, next to Christina Aguilera, next to like Britney Spears, NSYNC, whatever. I was on something way bigger than what we do right now. But then I felt like I loved the dancing part of it, not so much the singing part. And because I didn't like the singing part so much, I was not willing to study singing so much. And I was not willing to put all the sacrifice that I needed to, because it was just not something that was not my passion. And it was not my passion to be singing for kids. It was not my passion. So then that's why I quit that and I became a full-time dancer. I loved it, you know, like teaching, just like really filled my heart, really filled my heart. And then when all this industry happened, like all this stuff where like now people like get paid, like I would get paid to go and dance at festivals. I thought that was like phenomenal. But then when I started like having to go and teach, not what I wanted to teach, but just teach stuff like choreography to people that were not like, it was just very not aligned with my ideas, with my values. Teaching people at a Congress things that they cannot do just so that the promoter can hire me, or just so that I can look good in a video doing something really difficult, or just so that they think, oh, you know, teach me a trick, teach me a choreography in 1 hour. Like, it's so against my values. It's so against my values. And I started like feeling very empty inside. And then after the shows, you gotta go and social dance until God knows when, with people that, despite taking classes, people that tell you in your face that they've never taken classes, that they always watch YouTube, and they tell you that, and they expect that you dance with them. that was so against my values. Like, how do I go back to my studio and then teach people that they gotta study and they gotta they have to be respectful with the culture, with the education that I'm giving them, and with the whole thing, when I'm actually selling myself, selling my art, selling my dancing, selling my everything just for being famous or just for being hired. So then, as fancy, as sexy as that looks, I'm not willing to do that anymore. I am going to just focus on what I love, which is teaching. And that's the reason why, now, I'm studying. I'm studying to be a teacher for salsa and for bachata. I'm going to study history, music, kinesiology, dance, psychology for teaching dance. I mean, and that fills me up so much. So to get to this point, of course, I had to go inside, and have this moment or moments where I had to realize I recognized that I was not feeling good. And I was like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, because this is what I really dream of. This is my dream, my real dream. And of course, at this point, I already have a lot of skill in that, right? Because I've done it so many times. I've pivoted so many times. I've given up so many times the glitz and that what I'm supposed to do or what other people dream for me. I've given that up so many times for what I know to be what I dream for me, that now it's easy, right? But even then it's hard, because now, for instance, a lot of the things, and I'm sure this happens to you, and that's the reason why I'm mentioning it, because I really want you to listen to this. If this speaks to you, and as I always say, maybe there's a reason why you're listening to this. Maybe there's a reason why you're watching this. Maybe this is the signal that you needed to hear, or that you needed to be in contact with. Maybe you are doing something that you think is your dream just because it pays the bills. But push it 15 years, and if this is not what you want to be doing, it was certainly not for me. For instance, I remember before the pandemic, it was a full year and a half or 2 years that I was already dreading going to congresses, dreading it. I was so exhausted. I was so disappointed. I was so scared of people. I was so just exhausted, burnt out. I was already done. And then the pandemic happened. Now I realize, I'm you know what, I'm going to take this chance, and I'm going to stop doing this, because this is not what I want to do. Even if it looks super fancy, even if it pays well, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So maybe you're in the same position right now. Maybe you're in the position where you're making money doing something that you really don't love. That what you love is something that looks like that, but it's not that. So I'll give you permission or I want to encourage you to look inside and think about if you push the same activity that you're doing right now, if you push it for another 15 years, are you going to be happy with the results? And that should give you your answer. And also think that if in 15 years you don't take the decision right now to go for your dreams, for your real dreams, then also what is going to happen, and think if you can afford to do that. I always say, as long as we're alive, we always have time to switch. We always have time to pick up where we left off, or start all over from the very, very beginning into whatever it is, because it's never too late. You're always on time, always. As long as you're not dead, you can always fulfill your dreams. So thank you so much for being here today.